Hey guys, it's Saga from TechWorks. In this video, I'm going to compare the camera on the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2 with the cameras on the Mi A2. Before Zenfone Max Pro M2 and Redmi Note 6 Pro came along, Mi A2 was the go-to smartphone for anyone who had a budget of under 20,000 rupees and wanted a great set of cameras on their phone. But after the launch of Zenfone Max Pro M2, things have got a bit confusing. Both these phones are running on the same Snapdragon 660 processor, and after the recent price cut by Xiaomi, Mi A2 is now priced very close to the Max Pro M2. This has many of you guys confused as to which one will be right for you. In this video, let's try and find out which one is better in terms of their camera performance. We have a lot of image and video samples to go through, so in an attempt to keep this video short, let's get right to the samples and I will let you guys know about the camera specs as we go along. Before we go any further, if you are new to this channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. That way, you won't miss out on any of the amazing videos coming up on this channel. Starting with the daylight images, both the phones have 12 megapixel primary sensor at the back, so both of them capture similar amount of details. This Sony IMX486 sensor on the Max Pro M2 gets f1.8 aperture, while on the Mi A2 it gets f1.75 aperture, and each individual pixel has a size of 1.25 micron on both. There is no difference in the amount of details being captured, but there is a slight difference in the way that both of them process these images. Mi A2 adds a bit of warm tone to its images, and they also have a slightly more contrast in them, while those from the Max Pro M2 are slightly on the cooler side, and they appear a bit flat when compared against the images from the Mi A2. Color is a personal choice, so which one you like will depend on your preferences. Here are a couple of images with the HDR mode turned off. We can clearly see that the Mi A2 is showing a much better dynamic range by default. The building on the right side in the background is clearly visible in A2's image, while it is completely overexposed in the image from the Max Pro M2. And here are same images with the HDR mode turned on. There is not much difference in the image from the Mi A2, as it was already showing better dynamic range by default. But look at the image from the Max Pro M2. Not only did it bring up details on the shadows, but just look at the amount of details being preserved in the highlights as well. Here's another set of images, first without and then with the HDR mode turned on. We can again see the Mi A2 showing better dynamic range of the two, but at the same time, it is impressive to see Max Pro M2 bringing back lot of details from the shadows while preserving the highlights. We have a couple of more examples with the HDR mode turned on. Max Pro M2 does well with the HDR mode turned on, but it also captures much more noise in the shadows, so I prefer HDR shots from the Mi A2. Both phones are quick at switching the focus from far to near objects, and there is not a lot of focus hunting while switching the focus. This quick and accurate focusing plays a big part while you are capturing close-up and macro shots like this. In all of these shots, the subject that you are trying to capture is in perfect sharp focus from both the phones, and thanks to a wide aperture, background is blurred out nice and evenly. Images from the Mi A2 are slightly brighter because its aperture is a hair wider than the Max Pro M2. Coming to the portrait shots, both phones try very hard to accurately detect the edges and separate the subject from the background. Max Pro M2 uses 5 megapixel secondary camera to capture depth information, while the Mi A2 is assisted by its 20 megapixel secondary camera for this. They are not perfect while detecting the edges, but the Mi A2 does a better job compared to the Max Pro M2, which blurs out the part of your hair and ear more often. But in these portrait shots, Max Pro M2 captures much better colors than the Mi A2. On the Max Pro M2, you will get the option to adjust the amount of blur while you are composing the portrait shot. In low light, A2 takes better portrait shots, while the Max Pro M2 captures a lot of noise. As I said before, both are not perfect with portrait shots, and they can definitely use some refinements via software updates. They can take portrait shots of objects, and both do a good job of detecting the edges of complex objects and separating them from the background. Again, the Mi A2 does a better job of detecting the edges than the Max Pro M2. Colors from both are equally good while you are taking portrait shots of objects. Now let's check out indoor and low light performance of both these cameras. Both phones have same sensor, but the aperture on the Mi A2 is a hair wider. That combined with Xiaomi's image processing results in slightly detailed and sharper images from the Mi A2 in all of these artificial and lower lighting situations. You can also see a bit more noise in certain parts of the images from the Max Pro M2, and the Mi A2 is also better at handling the exposure from bright lights in lower lighting conditions. Mi A2 will also allow you to switch to the secondary 20 megapixel camera from the manual mode. This will help you take even sharper and detailed images in lower light. It's good to have this option, as most of the budget smartphones will not allow you to switch between lenses while you are taking images. On the Max Pro M2, you also don't get the exposure adjustment slider in the auto mode, so it is a bit difficult to get the focus and exposure right while clicking these images. So in low light, again the Mi A2 comes on top. That brings us to the front facing cameras. Mi A2 has a 20 megapixel selfie camera with f2.2 aperture, and the Max Pro M2 comes with a 13 megapixel selfie camera with f2.0 aperture. Both of them also get a LED flash for low light selfies. Despite of the difference between the megapixel count, you won't notice a big difference in the amount of details that both these front facing cameras will capture. Colors are similar from both, and the skin tones are also pretty accurately represented. Both can take portrait selfies, and again there is barely any difference in these images. Both are doing a good job of separating the subject from the background. So if you take a lot of selfies, you can choose either of these phones and you will be really happy with the results. Here's a video from the front facing camera of the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2 and the Mi A2. You can see how both these phones are handling the overall colors of the scene, exposure of the background, and stabilization when I'm walking around with them. Max Pro M2 has EIS on the front facing camera, so its frame is a bit cropped in compared to the Mi A2. Both can shoot 4K 30fps videos, but they don't offer stabilization at this resolution. 1080p 30fps videos are electronically stabilized on both. Mi A2 can shoot time-lapse and slow motion videos. Both these options are missing on the Max Pro M2. So after looking at all these images, it is clear that the Mi A2 takes better images in almost all conditions. But that doesn't mean the Max Pro M2 is not good. It is just a step behind the Mi A2, and if you look at these images separately, you might not even be able to tell the differences. Mi A2 is the winner for me, and the Max Pro M2 is at a very close second place when it comes to the camera performance. But when we look at the overall package, I feel that Max Pro M2 with its better design, 3.5mm audio jack, dedicated micro SD card slot and a much bigger battery seems like a better option, and it also gives you the most value for your money. These are just my views, and you may not feel the same way, which is completely alright. Which one of these two phones will you choose based on their camera performance? Let me know in the comments. And if you are still confused or if you don't agree with my views of these images, I suggest you guys go back, mute the video, watch it in the highest resolution that your device supports, and then draw your own conclusions that way. If you want to support the channel, you can do that by purchasing these phones from the affiliate links in the description section. It helps the channel a lot at no extra cost to you. That is it for this video, guys. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel for more quality tech videos like this. You can also check out some of the other videos from this channel. This has been Sagar, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.